This is a typical scene in downtown Tokyo or any other cities in Japan. This is in Okinawa, where US planes and vehicles are part of daily life here. Naturally, noise, accidents and crimes associated with the bases are also part of the daily life. US bases occupy 20% of mainland Okinawa, so Okinawans have lived next to the fence for decades. Stress from the noise and crimes and accidents caused by the US servicemen are a burden to the Okinawans, which is not understood by the mainland Japanese. Kiyoshi Nakamura lived all his life next to the controversial Futema Air Base until a CH-53 transport helicopter crashed not far from where he lived.
The Futema Air Base is in the middle of a residential area. The helicopters fly over houses every day here, and the crash reminded me of the danger we are in all the time. I want the base to close as soon as possible. We want the city to have peace once and for all.
Okinawa has demanded the reduction of US bases for decades, and some of the properties have been returned to the landowners, but the key and essential bases remain operational. Meanwhile, accidents and crimes continued. 676 accidents, some with fatalities, and an average of 140 crimes a year are committed by US military servicemen.
If the presence of the US forces is based on the US-Japan Security Agreement, we have to have a fair discussion and distribution of responsibility. Politicians and governments on the mainland say we need a security agreement, but they do not want ospreys flying over their cities or the presence of US bases in their neighborhoods. It's contradictory, and why should we bear the whole burden?
Most of the people in mainland Japan do not realize the high occurrences of accidents and crimes, or have felt the sound of a helicopter passing at low altitude. And many in turn criticize Okinawans for exaggeration. Some politicians even said in public that Okinawa rely their income from the bases, so why would they want to dig their own grave? Experts say the potential economic effect from the use of the land after their return is far greater than present. Revenue from the bases is around 210 billion yen, about 5.1% of prefectural gross income. Bases employs about 8,600 local workers.
Recently, a shopping mall was built on returned land which used to employ 50 people. It now employs over 3,500, and economic effect is over 200 billion yen. If we take Kadena Base as example, it is twice the size of the Narita International Airport with two 4,000-meter runways. It is worth about 200 billion yen, most of which is paid by our own taxpayers. If it is turned into a hub airport, it could produce over 1 trillion yen.
Residents say it has been quiet since the murder occurred, but this has repeated for decades. It will not be long until these streets are filled once again with drunken servicemen, and similar incidents would occur. Terence Terashima, CCTV, Okinawa.